It's 2:48 in the morning. I want to get this done before tomorrow, so let's break down what we can about the Veilbound timeline. To start off this timeline, we'll be starting back with the earliest known time or era that we can date back to and what we know of, starting with the era of the gods. This era reduced mankind down to 0.5% of its original population. Storm God was already a powerful being during this era, at one point achieving his commandment. If you want to know more about Storm God and the 5 heralds that will come up later on, I'll make a separate video on that, but for now, just try to go with everything I say and refer to those videos whenever they release. Due to what the gods did, Storm God creates a veil, keeping mankind and others within safe from the outside world and the actions of other gods, or God in particular. The inside of the veil is around 1/8 the original size of the continent that everything comes from. This is where the era of God ends. This list of things that happen next don't exactly have an era they belong to, but more of general things that happen over time, and these all come after the ending of the era of the gods. Starting with Storm God starts to prophesize the era of rebirth. I'll explain what that is in a future video. Prepare for that in a while or soon. Storm God is the only one bringing old world knowledge and teachings from beyond the veil. At this point in time, Storm God was the only one who was powerful enough to pierce the veil and come back. Storm God takes on 5 apprentices during this time, all being the greatest talent to the respective races. And speaking of me being the greatest talent of my race, the Stutter King, heralds become trained and achieve their commandments. The heralds are Lord Elithkar, Lord Talvin, Lord Vintos, Lord Sprithia, and Lady Sreen. After the heralds reach their power and are fully trained by Storm God, after some time Storm God dies. The world's power bar drops lower due to a lack of people with high potential. Storm God had no offspring. It was stated by Ript that is a big reason why the power bar fell, because the type of evolution that was Storm God was not carried on. The heralds were the closest things to Storm God, but there has been nothing like Storm God yet. The heralds try to take on the tasks of Storm God, going beyond the veil and bringing back old world knowledge. It is unknown if the heralds tried to spread the teachings of Storm God. Heralds have offspring, unlike Storm God. Descendant races are as follows. The descendants of Elithkar are the Alethi race. The descendants of Lord Talvin are known as the Talvesians race. The descendants of Lord Vintos are known as the Vintons. The descendants of Lady Serene are known as the Setians. And somewhere during, before, or after this, the heralds die, dropping the power bar even lower. And during this time, as the player characters come to be, the power bar slowly rises, and during this starts the era of rebirth. This is seen as where the player character comes in, and this is the rebirth of what I can only guess to be power back into the world, right? Soon enough the power to pierce the veil. It has been stated by Ript before that players will be able to get the commandments themselves, and that is the total end game of Veilbound, right? For those who don't know, commandments are the pinnacle of human potential. Emphasize on human. Each person, character, or NPC has their own amount of potential. For example, that is the reason why the 5 heralds were never as strong as Storm God, and why us as players may never be as powerful as the 5 heralds, and why for a long time the heralds were the strongest because people couldn't match their potential. There has been others throughout the lore and time who have showed amazing potential, but somewhere during this, the kith come in. The kith are people who see research above all else sometimes, right? They will, let me find it real quick, but it kind of gives off Bondrewd type of vibes. I don't think it's really Bondrewd because they're about true neutral, but they were people who snubbed out some of the people who could have been high potential, like the heralds. They are a understudy dedicated to research. Their goal is anything coined a threat to mankind must be researched and dealt with appropriately. And they are true neutral. A reason for them killing some of them may have been they thought they'd turn on mankind and make things worse. The reason, like, if one of the 5 heralds were bad, which one of the 5 heralds were known as extreme narcissists, so some people do see their actions as poor, the kith may have tried to kill them or kill them in terms of research. But the kith do not kill for no reason. Everything they do is documented with an intricate reason. As Ript says, but it's not like, oh, you're strong, you must die. They make extremely calculated decisions. Every choice is documented and given intricate reason. And somewhere throughout lore, they've snubbed out people with high potential. But for the timeline, this concludes all we really know. Sorry if this is like a little bit rushed together. I like it how it came out. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I'll refer back to it. If we get more information about the timeline and more heavy stuff about it, I might remake the video or make a part 2 in the future. But until then, you can expect a possible video about the 5 heralds or a possible video about Storm God. Other than that, have a good night. I'm gonna get some sleep. And yeah, hopefully this gets me content creator role. I want that role so bad. Oh, I want it so bad. Oh, have a good night, guys.